Hello, folks, and welcome back to another episode of Insufferable with me, your host, Lindsay. How? I don't know if you can tell, but coming to you with a little nighttime episode this week, a little evening. Okay, and when I say nighttime, I mean 5:36 p.m. Yeah, and we can thank daylight savings for that. Probably the dumbest shit that we ever invented. And by we, I mean probably some man. Um, yeah, it's only 5:30 right now and it is dark as hell. You would think it is 9 p.m. outside. That is very sad. But what's not sad is it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Yeah, bitch. It's the day after Thanksgiving. So it is truly beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I went and walked to the grocery store a couple of days ago to get some pie crusts for my famous apple pie that I make for Thanksgiving. And I peeped a couple of businesses on the block painting their windows with little elves and Christmas trees and ornaments and candy canes alike. So I thought, "Day, we are here. 'Tis the season." And if you know me, you know that I am a Christmas bitch. I love Christmas. I love the season. I love the smells. I love the pine. I love the cinnamon. I love the nutmeg. I love the pies. I just like the cozy nature of the season. And so, yeah, I pretty much just wait all year long for this. And then it seems like it, goes away in a blip. But I'm gonna go ahead and lock in, as these kids would say, and enjoy the season as much as I possibly can. The end of the year is always my brokest time of year. This has actually been my brokest year of all time. Uh, it's not as fun as it could be. Not having any money, not being able to get gifts, or I still don't have my car, so I can't even be driving anywhere. Everybody's got to pick me up and sort of wait on me hand and foot. But hey, I'm embracing the idea of, everybody is, riding for me. And it's been 12 months now. 12 months of me being pretty needy bitch. So I would like to get it together. I would like to officially manifest financial abundance, financial freedom. I want to be free of the constraints in which finances have on me and my psyche, or my psyche and I, however it is that we say it. So, yeah, financial abundance, come on down and stay for a while. Okay. That's one thing about manifestation is you do need to you can't forget to say when you're manifesting something that you want like forever, you have to also say, I want this thing and I also want to be able to sustain that thing. Okay, there are a couple things that I really want and I would really like to sustain. Okay, like taking care of my body, getting massages, doing a little acupuncture, maybe going to the chiropractor, stuff like that. Those things do not have the same effect, or the same positive effect as they are supposed to evoke, if you only do it once every 7 years. You know what I'm saying? One massage every 7 years is really not going to, fix your misalignment in your body and, all that kind of stuff. That's the thing that fucks me up about the chiropractor too, is when you go to the chiropractor, they're like, listen, we can crack you down right now. We can absolutely put some pop rocks in your body right now and get you cracked. But the reality is, when you leave this office and you go about your regular day and move your body the regular way that you typically do and what got you into this predicament, all of your bones and tendons and muscles and stuff, they're all going to shift right back to where You started. You need to keep getting adjusted week after week and fixing your posture or your, recovery from your workouts or whatever it may be. Someone with the skill and the knowledge of the human body needs to educate you on why you're all fucked up, and so you can fix those things. You know what I mean? Like right now, my hip flexors are really tight and I really want to do the splits. Okay. I used to be able to do the splits, but it doesn't matter how much I stretch my adductors. It's not really helping me get, towards the splits, which is what I'm trying to do. I think there's something going on with my abductors. Well, god damn it. I can't remember which was add together. Ads is so ad is in the middle, ab is on the outside. Either way, my hips are messed up and I need a professional to look at my body, lay me on a table, beat me with a mallet, and tell me how to sustain my physical form into its highest potential. Because if there's one thing I hate doing, it's bending over. Oh my God. If something falls down, like falls off the counter or whatever, I have to pick it up, I'm pissed. I don't want to bend over. Why? Because my low back hurts all the time. Why? Because I'm pretty sure I slipped a disc while I was deadlifting in 2022. Okay? This is just kind of how it is. And I haven't been able to get around to, professionals and doctors alike to be able to figure out if I even have a slip disc or a bulge or whatever's going on down there. Okay? So I think I said that in another episode of the pod here that I simply, if I win the lottery, you'll be able to tell by how well my body is doing. You know? Yeah, I'm over here walking at my full potential. I'm not waddling so much anymore. I'm doing the splits. I know about my body and my bones and my ligaments and everything. I have knowledge because I went through a professional and they told me. They worked with me. We worked for months on this and now I'm feeling better. Okay? That's the goal. I don't want a Birkin. I don't want a Birkin. I want acupuncture. So, that is what I'm manifesting. I'm manifesting abundance in the world of health and wellness. I want to be getting, good treatments like sports massage, deep tissue, cupping, acupuncture. I've never tried, but I would like to. That's what I'm manifesting. Okay. And aside from that, I also want to manifest some wealth in the building. Okay. We do need, at least X amount per month to just simply survive, which I am, just kind of skirting by month after month, getting to that, very, mid-sized number, but it's not allowing me to do anything fun, or buy any, food or anything like that. So I want to manifest my financial abundance and I would like to sustain it. Okay, I want money coming in. I want money coming in. And I think a lot of you are thinking, well, okay, girl, get a job. I have been trying to get a job. Okay, I've been trying for 12 months now. And I personally know several people in my personal life who have also been looking for work for the last 12 months specifically. It's the worst year for jobs, I fear. And you know what? I don't care if AI takes my job. I don't. Well, I do. I do care. But as long as I'm getting money from some source, AI can take my job. That's actually just fine. Well, it's not fine because, I don't want to get into the AI conversation. Not today. But, yeah, I'm truly just sitting here trying to, specify my abundance, request from said universe, okay? Spirit has really been taking care of me. I'm just trying to, keep it up, make sure that she knows I love her. So, yeah. Um Anyway, it's the day after Thanksgiving. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you celebrate, if you don't necessarily celebrate, I hope you had a good day. Regardless. I'm not a huge Thanksgiving storyline um advocate. You know what I'm saying? I think it's pretty clear that what happened on Thanksgiving was not cute, historically. And, we probably shouldn't be celebrating something so heinous. But, I'm not advocating for the story. I do like to get together with my family and, make food all together, something we never do. And it was a nice time. My brother and I hosted this year at his home. And it was nice to sort of take the pressure off my mom, even though she did still put in some labor. Um, and she'd be making pies and she'd be making the deviled eggs. So, it's still pretty labor intensive, I would say. But at least she didn't have to make a turkey and, the stuffing and everything else. But you know what? At the end of the day, if I'm not in charge of the event, if I'm not in charge of the scenario that we're in, I can't rest. I don't I'll never be in a position where I say, "So and so's got it. They've got it fully under control. I don't have to worry." Because this year, my brother insisted that we host at his house, and I was pretty stoked on that. I'm like, "Oh, my brother and I will cook all the food, blah, blah, blah." And leading up to it, I was like, "Oh, I need to, like, hit up my brother so we can go grocery shopping." And I hit him up. He's like, "Oh, yeah, I already did it." And in the front of my head, I was like, "Oh, he's got it under control. Look at him. He already did the shopping. That's great." But in the back of my head, I said, "Did he really? He is a man after all." I should have double checked. I should have double checked because the guy did not specify major details that we would have needed to know. I should have scouted the location. My brother moved into this new house a couple of months ago and he works a lot and he tours in a band. So, he hasn't quite fully furnished the house, and he's kind of chugging along and on that aspect of the home. But he did not. Oh, what I'm saying is he moved in there, I went in there, I helped him move in, so I've only been to the house when it was completely empty, and all I did was bring his mattress in with him. So, it's kinda one of those things where I'm like, "I don't even know what it looks like over there, I don't know the details, I should have scouted the location before, Thanksgiving," but I did not do that because I was trying to, trust him and know that he had it under control. He did not, because he did not, um, you know, uh, disclose that his oven only fits one pan at a time. So once I arrived at the location the morning of Thanksgiving, I found out that all of the dishes that we need to cook will have to wait until after the turkey is done. And that is not an efficient way to cook Thanksgiving. If you're gonna be hosting Thanksgiving, you might need to have an oven that can fit more than one dish at a time. And I couldn't even sleep the night before because I was going to take on the, mac and cheese this year, okay? I'm making mac and cheese this year. We never have it at the dinner table. My mom doesn't like it, and she's usually the one who does all of the stuff for Thanksgiving. So since she was off the hook this year, I really wanted mac and cheese, so I said, "I'm gonna do it." And I am not a chef, and I am not known for my cooking skills, I'm just not known for them. You know what I'm saying? And every time I say something like that, I think of my friend Gavin. Him and I used to work at, like, this breakfast cafe, um, together in, like, 2013 or something like that, and people would come and he was a server, I was a server. People would come in, and they'd be like, "How's the biscuits and gravy?" And they were terrible. At this place we worked at, biscuits and gravy, dry as hell. Salty and dry, not good, okay? But you can't really say that to your table, right? Because the owner will get ticked if you be saying stuff like that, you know what I mean? Honestly, just take that off the menu. It sucks. But when his tables would say, how's the, biscuits and gravy?" He would say, "It's not what we're known for." And that would totally clarify what he's trying to say without him having to say it. And I always thought that was genius. So, cooking, not what I'm known for. I'm trying to get better. I'm manifesting a little more skill, a little more care, a little more, I just want to enjoy it more. I don't enjoy it. And then, that lack of joy translates into the dish and then it be tasting bad. So, I want to go ahead and, enjoy that more. I'm manifesting that. So when I said I was gonna make mac and cheese, of course, I went on TikTok to find the best recipe for mac and cheese. Everybody's making Teeny's mac and cheese, and so, I watched, like, her video, like, I don't know, probably, like, 65 times, and I thought, "You know what? I can do this. I can do this." And my mom's not even gonna eat it, and my dad loves mac and cheese. Woo! And I said, "I'm going to commit to a dish, and this ain't no Kraft. It ain't no Velveeta, okay? I gotta get evaporated milk for this recipe." I mean, it's serious. I'm making a roux. You know what I mean? So we're not playing around. But at Thanksgiving, my brother puts the turkey in the oven in the morning. I ask him, "How long is this turkey gonna be in the oven for?" He said, "Until 5:15." I said, "Well, goddamn, we can't even be efficient and cook the rest of the dishes that we need to cook because the turkey isn't gonna be out of the oven until 5:15. That's crazy, bro." So, that kinda blew up the spot, and then, he after, like, 3 hours of the turkey, but it was, like, 3 o'clock, 3 or 4 o'clock, and I was like, "Do you even have a thermometer?" And he said, "Yeah, I have a thermometer." I'm like, "Check it, see where we're at, 'cause, I need to make some other shit, dude. Everybody's here. I mean, they're watching football. Nobody gives a fuck. But in my, stage manager, director of Thanksgiving mindset, I'm like, we need to get the rest of the dishes made. So when the turkey is, about finished, everything's going to kind of be finished at the same time. That's just cooking 101. That's Thanksgiving 101. That's why the kitchen be fucking crazy. That's why the kitchen on Thanksgiving be like The Bear season 2. You know what I mean? So let me fucking cook, bro. Let me cook, and I was in a cook mindset. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't sleep the night before. I was running through the steps on how to make the roux. And then, I gotta shred all the cheese. And I gotta put the evaporated milk in and make sure all the flour from the roux is cooked out. And then I gotta add the fucking, um, you know, uh, heavy cream. And then after that, I start adding the cheese. And then, oh, I also have to boil the pasta. Like, I was ruminating on the steps. I was stressed out about it. And then I got there and it was basically like anticlimactic that I couldn't even cook because couldn't put anything else in the oven. So I had him check the damn turkey at 3 or 4 o'clock. And I'm like, just check it. It was done. It was done. And I said, first of all, get it the fuck out of the oven so we don't dry it out. And second of all, now the energy in the kitchen between me and my brother is like the opening sequence, not the opening sequence, but in Home Alone when they wake up late and they're like, we slept in. And everyone's running around the house trying to get all their bags together because they have to go catch the flight at the airport. That became the energy of the kitchen in my brother's home. And that was not something I wanted to do. I wanted it to be chill. I wanted it, if I scheduled the day and I did the shopping, which he didn't get green beans. He didn't get any hors d'oeuvres, no olives, no, and not even any chips and dip, nothing for our guests, aka our parents and our family, to eat whilst he's assuming that the fucking turkey's got to be in the oven for fucking 40 hours. Now we're rushing through. We haven't even boiled the potatoes for mashed potatoes. Okay? And I need two spots on the stove for my dish, right? I'm making my roux and my cheese sauce and I'm boiling pasta. And I'm setting a timer on my watch and I'm setting a different timer for something else on my phone and timers are going off. I'm fucking directing people on what to do. I'm like, go get me that. Give me 2 cups of that. I can't even move away from the flame because this is a very sensitive thing that I'm doing with the roux. It needs to be on low heat and I can't let it boil because it's going to burn. That is not the energy that I would have curated if I was in charge of the day. So at that point, I put on my director's cap. I always bring it. It's always in my bag. You know what I mean? Anytime I think someone else has got it, she's in the bag. She's tucked away. I act like I didn't bring it, but I am ready to pop it out, put it on, and start bossing everyone around. Okay? I was supposed to be off today. No, I'm not. Now I'm Ron Howard. Okay? I've got my hat and my puffy vest, and I'm bossing everyone around. So we got everything made in a pretty short amount of time. It actually wasn't that hard to make everything we were going to make. It was just getting, you know, everything in the oven, and everything that we were cooking needed to be in the oven for like 35 minutes. And when you can only put 2 dishes in the oven, once we took out the turkey, we could put the other rack in the oven, and now we could put 2 dishes in the fucking oven, at a time. So we're doing 2 types of stuffing. We're doing mac and cheese. We're doing sweet potato casserole. We're doing, you know, whatever the fuck was in the oven. And he didn't even get green beans. And he didn't even get stuff for sweet potato casserole either. I knew I should have gone with him to the damn grocery store. But part of me was like, he's got this. He really wants to host this year. I know I'm going to help him cook, but like, he's got it under control. No, he did not. Because guess what? He is a man after all. And they just be winging it, dude. A man has never made a grocery list. They've never made a grocery list. And you know what? They forget something every time. And you can't really be doing that. You can't really be dilly-dallying with Thanksgiving. So next year, I'm manifesting I have a house. Okay? We can't fit the whole family in this apartment. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, to be honest. Well, not I could wish that on an enemy because that would be nice to have all of my family inside my tiny apartment. But my mom needs to watch her football. My brother's venue was the best venue. Okay. The guy's got like a 90-inch TV in his fucking living room. It's like going to the movies. The guy's obsessed with giant TVs. He has like a 90-inch TV or 100 inches or something like that in his living room. And in his room, he has like an 80-inch TV in his room. The guy is really into cinema. And a giant couch, huge couch, big space means that big home. You know what I mean? A backyard, the dogs were playing in the backyard. I mean, the venue was good, but he needed a stage manager. He needed a stage manager to make sure that everything went well and we had everything we needed. So luckily my mom, the goat, was able to go get the sweet potato casserole items at a open grocery store that morning after I texted her in a panic that Garen did not get stuff for sweet potato casserole. And he said, I never even eat sweet potato casserole. Hey, bro, it's actually not about you. Yeah, by the way, it's not about you. You're hosting Thanksgiving. You are obligated to make all the dishes. Everything that is typically on the table, you don't go ahead and just say, we're not making that because I don't eat it. That's crazy because 6 other people in this family eat it. It must be hard to be my brother, honestly. I'm such a bitch. Well, I'm not a bitch, but I'm just very particular. And why wouldn't you want things to go smoothly, you know? But my mom had a good time, actually. They brought beers, which was nice. My mom and my dad. I drank, a couple of beers, especially after I found out that we were gonna have to rush and make, all of these fucking dishes in the next like hour. Um, but all in all, at the end of the day, even he didn't even know where we were gonna put the dishes after they were done. I had to organize like a Tetris situation on his bar top and tell him where to put each dish. And I said, "Here's a slot for this, and here's a slot for this, and then take it out of the oven, put it right here. Give me a fucking oven mitt or whatever." And then I set all the silverware out on the table, and I told everyone where they were gonna sit. It was a damn seating chart. I made it in the nick of time, by the way. So anyway, that's how Thanksgiving went, and probably a lot of people are listening to this thinking, "Girl, that's how Thanksgiving goes every year at everyone's house." And I bet you're right. I bet you're right. It could be a chaotic day. But I feel if I was fully in control of the day and I had a team, aka my brother and my niece, and I could delegate jobs to at least two team members, everything would run smoothly. And everything would be ready at the same time, and it would all be hot and delicious, and everyone would be happy. And the guests there would not feel as though they were in season 2 of The Bear, because we all know that season 2 of The Bear was pretty intense. Okay. I almost didn't watch The Bear. I don't really vibe well with traumatic depictions of restaurant life. Okay. I worked in a restaurant for, the better part of actually my entire 20s. And it's just simply a trauma that you don't fully recover from. You can only remove yourself from it. You know what I mean? You have to remove yourself from the kitchen and be okay with being a guest at a restaurant. It's nice to be a guest at a restaurant. And you know that they're struggling in the back. And that's not them struggling because of anything. Like, it's just stressful to work at a restaurant. If you know, you know. And that's just how it is. So yeah, I almost did not watch The Bear because I said I do not want no damn PTSD watching this damn shit right now. But it was good. And I haven't seen the latest season. I think it's like season 4 or something. 3 or 4, I don't know. But yeah. What else? What else? I did get a teeny tiny little tree. It's called an elf tree. It's about, I don't know, maybe 2.5, 3 feet tall. And it's very cute, and it is over there off frame, but I am going to decorate it this evening. It is only 6 o'clock at this point. There's kind of no excuse. I could pull out the um the Christmas box and decorate my itty bitty little tree. And I would like to put it back here for the remainder of the episodes of this year, bro. It's about to be 2026. God damn. That went by pretty quickly. And despite everything that happened this year, or stuff that didn't happen this year, aka me getting a good paying job, I still have thoroughly enjoyed this year. And I got so much gratitude for the people who take care of me and show up for me. I'm trying to be better about setting my boundaries and protecting my peace and all of that, whilst also still caring for people who care for me. You know what I mean? Sometimes it be getting too much, sometimes you gotta step back. Um but yeah, I really got it good. I really got it good. And you know, big ups to Spirit for taking care of me. So that's pretty cool. Last week's episode, I got a lot of good feedback on it. My best friend sent me a 6-minute voice note dissertation about the episode, and she was, like, really fired up about it and, gave me some really, lovely compliments on my takes of Frankenstein or just, like, the way I, was able to articulate my thoughts about it, and, it really got her wanting to have conversations about it, and that's kind of the whole deal about podcasting, in my opinion, or just Insufferable in general. It's like, I'm not really here to I mean, I do be having insufferable takes, but at the end of the day, it's more important to, like, allow people to have conversations that they typically wouldn't have. And, or maybe not like typically wouldn't have, but, just evoking thoughts. Heaven forbid a bitch evokes some thoughts in your brain and it makes you want to think about stuff in other ways. That's kind of the whole deal. So, everybody who reached there was a couple of people who reached out to me about that episode, and I really appreciate that, and thank you so much for those kind words because, at the end of the day, that's the whole goal of the podcast, and, I really appreciate that. That being said, I know last week I talked about how I hate when filmmakers, spoon feed you the plot, let me, watch the movie and figure it out myself. I'm kind of eating my words now because the other day, sometime last week, I watched Eddington, which is a new Ari Aster film. And goddamn, bitch, when I tell you I just needed at least one spoonful. I I needed one spoonful to be fed to me on that fucking plot because I was lost. And that is not uncommon for Ari Aster films. Okay, he really do be keeping you on the edge of your seat and giving you some visuals that just do not make any sense until you really really think about it. But as you should, once you if you watch a movie and you did not get spoon-fed the plot and you need a little outside help, that is different. And that is acceptable in my opinion. To go ahead and read up some reviewers or like, the director's note or anything that the writers, had to say about the film and their inspiration and what they were trying to convey with certain imagery and scenes and colors and stuff like that. It's perfectly acceptable and encouraged to go ahead and read up on those things after the movie, in my personal opinion. Do I want to be spoon fed the damn plot throughout the movie? No. Let me go ahead and be confused by the end and have to, like, you know, look into it more. That's actually fine. Like, there's some stuff in the movie that, because I did watch a couple of takes after, I watched the movie because like I said, I needed a spoonful. I needed someone to clarify some things for me. A couple of things. Not the whole movie, but, I know what I was getting into when I was watching an Ari Aster film, and you know what? Like, the first 45 minutes, I was like, "How is this an Ari Aster film?" But as he does, once that 46-minute hits, um, you're in for a ride, and you have no idea where you're going. You really have to pay attention. So, that's kinda how it was for me. Um, but yeah, there's, Joaquin Phoenix, is the lead character. He's amazing. By the way, Joaquin Phoenix is a legend, and his character is the sheriff in this town, and, there's this scene, where he's talking to someone else, and I think it takes place in New Mexico, and it's a real windy city. It's desert and it's like wind. And his character is kind of losing his grip on his authority in this town. I mean, it's like a small town in New Mexico. He's the sheriff, and then there's two cops. And that's it. That's the whole police department. Like, it's that small of a town. And his character is struggling with having authority over this town. Like, people really do not count on him to keep the town safe, and he's having trouble keeping grips on his authority. And when I was, watching somebody's take on it, some reviewer or whatever, and he's kind of explaining that, that aspect of his character, uh, the the person doing the review was like, so similar, imagery in this scene where Joaquin Phoenix character, I think his name's Joel, um he's seen like in this scene, he's like holding his sheriff hat on, which is like a cowboy hat, but in New Mexico, like their sheriff hats are like cowboy hats, and he's like holding it on because the wind's gonna blow it off. But that's like the imagery of him like losing a grip on his authority in this town type shit. So even little explanations like that, or like be like, "Oh, I bet you didn't notice that he was doing this in this scene." That actually kind of alludes to the fact that he was doing blank, 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 and blah, blah, blah. So I just wanted to bring that up because I was talking so much shit about being spoon fed a plot in a movie last week. And I thought, you know what? I know not everyone likes to think that hard watching movies, and I kind of felt bad after I said, well, I didn't feel bad, but I'm like, you know what? Not everyone does that. And after I watched Eddington, I thought, damn, I just wish I could have had a spoonful. Like, somebody needs to fucking explain this to me, so I can get a better grip on it. But that is just Ari Aster films in general. Was the movie good? Absolutely. Absolutely, it was a 10 out of 10. I mean, I don't wanna say no notes. I need to watch it again, um, to kinda clarify, stuff that was clarified to me afterwards after I read up on it and watched some reviews. Now I wanna watch it again with those, things in mind so I can kind of see it a little bit better. But, yeah, it's on HBO Max right now. Pedro Pascal's in it. He's kind of an asshole in it, still fine as hell, so there's that. Um, and yeah, it is a wild, wild ride, so I do recommend it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about this week. I'm going to cut it, here pretty soon, but I did want to pull an affirmation card, which I did not do on the last couple of episodes. I don't know if I'm gonna do one every episode, but we're gonna do one this episode, so um that's kind of how it goes today, girly pops. Oh, this is one where you can write your own affirmation on it. We're not going to do that today. Well, that's cute. Okay, today's affirmation is as follows. Good friendships are charms. Protective omens I surround myself with. And it has a little cat and a bunny on a strawberry. How flippin' cute is that? And that is actually great. That is a great one to wrap up this episode with because when I talk about people who have cared for me this year and made sure that I got what I needed and haven't, gone down the shitter, having not had employment for a year. My friendships have been very, very strong this year. They are protective omens I surround myself with. Good friendships are charms, and that is so true. Um, it's good to look at your friendships and cherish them. Cherish them because I think a lot of people, young people that kind of get caught up in the romanticism of it all, like romantic relationships and how they think their romantic relationships will be there for them unconditionally. Like you think your boyfriend or your husband or your wife or whatever is like the person that you can always go to for anything ever and they can help you through anything that happens to you or whatever. That is also very true for friendships. It does not have to be a romantic relationship for you to get that kind of support that you that everyone needs. Every human needs that connection. So, just look around at your friends and cherish them and make sure they feel cherished. Make sure that they know you love them because hey, they are an important part of our lives. So, and if you're a single girly, you don't need a man or woman or whatever to like a romantic relationship to make sure you're taken care of. I know that like people say like being single is sort of the same as, you know, I don't have a person and I am also no one's person. And that can be pretty spooky to think about, like not having a person. But your friends are your persons. They can support you in a way that allows you to be alone and not like single, but like I'm talking about like alone in the sense of like you being able to handle your own shit on your own without someone who's like obligated to help you through every single thing that you go through. You know what I mean? You should be able to get through a lot of stuff on your own, and you can do that if you have the support of friends around you, if that makes sense. And you know what? Your romantic friendship or your romantic relationships should also be friendships. You know what I mean? Your man should like want to hang out with you, you know. He should like to spend time with you, you know. A lot of these men don't even like women. So, if you marry a man like that, that's going to be pretty sad. And you're gonna really depend on your friends at that point. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, that's our affirmation for today. Good friendships are charms, protective omens I surround myself with. We love that. We love Channy. Thanks for the affirmation deck. And that is going to be it for us this week, you guys. Um I hope you had a good holiday, Thanksgiving, whatever if you celebrate. And now we're it's holidays. So, happy holidays. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Something is ringing. Happy holidays to you. I bet my mic just fucking fucked that all up. Anyway, happy holidays to everyone. And I will see you next week. Okay, bye.